It's moving.
Yo, we got aliens out here.
We got UFOs outside.
This isn't your typical UFO story. It's about a top-secret fighter jet, supposedly tested by the United States military, engineered with technology that challenges gravity. On the record, this craft doesn't exist, yet sightings and declassified snippets hint otherwise. Could the TR-3B be the ultimate leap in aerospace design, or is it all part of a carefully spun illusion? The truth behind this stealthy, physics-defying fighter might be more extraordinary and unsettling than any sci-fi fantasy. The beast? Imagine a massive, silent aircraft gliding over your neighborhood, V-shaped, rimmed with a dazzling array of colored lights so big it blocks out the stars. This isn't just science fiction or an episode of The X-Files. In the early 1980s, hundreds of people in New York's Hudson Valley claimed to have seen exactly that. What's particularly chilling is that these sightings are not an isolated case. For decades, mysterious black triangles have been reported across the globe, each sighting seemingly more unexplainable than the last. From the Hudson Valley to Phoenix, from Belgium to Illinois, these sightings have baffled witnesses, radar operators, and experts alike. The Hudson Valley sightings kicked off in the early 1980s, with hundreds of people reporting massive, hovering V-shaped objects around the Hudson River. These weren't fleeting glimpses either. These unidentified flying objects lingered, drifting slowly across the sky, with no sound. Witnesses described colorful lights outlining the shape, sparking both awe and terror. What's intriguing is that the objects appeared to defy the logic of any known aircraft. Hovering silently, slowly moving. These characteristics made it difficult to attribute them to typical planes or helicopters. Then, several pilots came forward, claiming the lights were nothing more than ultralight aircraft flying in formation. Case closed, right? Not quite. Despite these claims, the sightings continued, and many skeptics argued that ultralight planes couldn't account for the vast, silent craft people reported seeing. The mystery only deepened, leading many to wonder, was this the start of something bigger? Just when the buzz around Hudson Valley began to subside, Europe experienced its own wave of sightings. Starting in November 1989, Belgium became the stage for one of the most well-documented and perplexing UFO events ever. On November 29th, a giant, flat, triangular craft was observed by more than 30 different groups of witnesses and several police officers, all describing the same eerie details: a silent, low-flying object with lights underneath that moved slowly over the Belgian landscape. And unlike the Hudson Valley phenomenon, this craft was detected on radar. 2 Belgian Air Force F-16s were even dispatched to intercept the object, but as they got close, the mysterious craft performed abrupt maneuvers that would have been impossible for any known aircraft at the time. Some skeptics argued that the lack of sound could be attributed to external noise drowning out any engine hum, but others weren't convinced. Radar doesn't lie after all, and the fact that it was tracked by advanced military technology gives this sighting an extra layer of authenticity. The intrigue reached a fever pitch in 1997 with the infamous Phoenix Lights incident. On 13 March, residents of Phoenix, Arizona, witnessed a strange formation of lights in the sky, creating a massive V-shape that hovered above the city. The size of this object, reported by some to be over a mile wide, sent chills down witnesses' spines as it blocked out stars in its path. The spectacle wasn't brief either. The lights lingered for several minutes, giving onlookers ample time to take photos and videos. Many speculated that the United States Air Force was involved, and some reports later claimed that military flares were being tested that evening. But if that's the case, why did so many people describe seeing a single, solid craft rather than individual flares? Some residents insisted they saw a massive triangular structure moving above them, not just isolated lights. Could a top-secret military aircraft have been silently hovering over a populated area? Or was this something extraterrestrial? The turn of the millennium didn't slow down the sightings. In the early hours of 5th January 2000, multiple police officers in southern Illinois reported a large triangular object moving over several towns, including Highland and Lebanon. The officers, all seasoned observers, described the craft as silent, dark, and low-flying, with 3 bright lights arranged in a triangular formation. Their reports were so consistent that they quickly gained national media attention. Skeptics attributed the sightings to an advertising blimp, but eyewitnesses maintained that what they saw was no blimp. Witnesses swore that the object was unlike anything they'd ever seen, a sentiment echoed in later UFO investigations. In January 2008, Stephenville, Texas, became the focal point of yet another massive sighting. Hundreds of residents, including a local pilot, reported seeing a large triangular object with bright lights speeding through the sky. What made this sighting stand out was the size and speed of the object. Witnesses reported that it was larger than a football field, moving faster than any known aircraft. Some claimed it was accompanied by smaller, similarly shaped objects. Years later, in the 2023 Netflix documentary series Encounters, some witnesses alleged that the triangular objects contained strange, insect-like creatures resembling praying mantises. This shocking detail added an eerie, almost otherworldly twist to the sighting. While explanations for these sightings have varied, from ultralight aircraft and military flares to advertising blimps, no definitive answer has ever been given. And the real mystery lies not just in the sightings themselves, but in their persistence over decades and across continents. Could these sightings be connected to the elusive Aurora Program? Aurora Program. The Aurora Program is a highly classified United States military project shrouded in secrecy, speculation, and intrigue. What's interesting is that despite decades of rumors, sightings, and even indirect evidence, the United States government has continuously denied its existence. The mystery of the Aurora Program began in the 1980s when an unusual budget line labeled Aurora reportedly appeared, allocating $455 million for black aircraft production. Now, this may sound like a conspiracy theory straight out of a spy novel, but some experts claim that this was the funding for a revolutionary hypersonic aircraft capable of unimaginable speeds. The very fact that such a large sum was allocated to an undisclosed project only added fuel to the fire. So, what could this plane be? Some say it's a successor to the SR-71 Blackbird, the world's fastest reconnaissance plane, designed to push the limits of aviation technology. Could these sightings be the Aurora? The possibility that the United States military was flying a hypersonic, stealthy aircraft at the time, undetected by the public, would seem outlandish to some. Yet many believe this could have been the stealthy, high-speed reconnaissance plane of the future. Now let's take it a step further. What if this aircraft could reach speeds well beyond Mach, 5 times the speed of sound? That's not just fast. That's breaking the sound barrier with ease. These hypersonic capabilities would be made possible by cutting-edge propulsion technologies like scramjets and engines that push the boundaries of speed by using air compression and extreme combustion. The Aurora, with these capabilities, could fly at incredible altitudes, remaining undetectable to enemy radar systems. But wait, here's the part that will truly make your head spin. Have you ever heard of skyquakes? These are loud sonic booms that have been reported along the United States West Coast, coinciding with the presence of mysterious high-speed aircraft. People reported hearing these loud bangs without any conventional explanation, right around the time when sightings of the triangular Aurora-shaped craft emerged. It's almost like something was flying so fast and high that it couldn't be seen, but it could be heard. What's even more intriguing is that some insiders, aviation experts, and military personnel have hinted that the Aurora Program existed, but no one could ever verify the truth. The mystery of TR-3B Manta. Rumors of an enigmatic craft have circulated for decades, an aircraft that could seemingly defy gravity, an impossible machine that warped the very physics grounding it to Earth, blurring the boundaries between science and fiction. Despite the insistence of government officials that such vehicles do not exist, stories about them have managed to evade suppression. Cloaked under the aegis of top-secret operations, projects like the CIA's mysterious TR-3B Manta have fostered decades of speculation. This triangular, gravity-defying aircraft supposedly operated with technology so advanced that it altered our very understanding of aerodynamics. The history of groundbreaking aviation technology and secrecy dates back to the early days of flight, with major leaps in innovation appearing particularly in times of conflict. Following the invention of aircraft, world powers quickly realized the strategic advantage of aerial superiority, igniting an arms race to develop aircraft that could fly higher, faster, and undetected. By the Cold War, this race had evolved to new heights as nations sought to build the world's most elusive and powerful aircraft. This was the era of mysterious test sites, the most famous of which is the infamous Area 51. Area 51, located in Nevada, became the breeding ground for experimental aircraft technologies in 1955. Here, the American Air Force, the CIA, and defense contractors like Lockheed Martin tested some of the world's most advanced aviation technology under a veil of secrecy. The site's operations were so covert that they led to a surge in UFO sightings, as civilians and military personnel alike struggled to make sense of the unearthly aircraft spotted in the skies. With strange shapes and unheard-of capabilities, these prototypes appeared more like alien spacecraft than any conventional aircraft in existence. Let's find out what makes this aircraft a secret worth hiding. The Black Triangle. Often described as the Bigfoot of military aviation, the TR-3B's triangle shape is said to be optimized for avoiding detection. For stealth aircraft such as the F-117 Nighthawk and B-2 Spirit, the triangular configuration aids in reducing radar visibility. But the TR-3B allegedly takes this a step further. Supposedly, it uses an advanced radar-absorbing polymer that can adjust its reflectivity, making it appear smaller or even changing color to blend with the sky. Features that, if true, would make it virtually invisible to radar. If witness accounts are to be believed, the TR-3B is not only hard to see, but also extraordinarily agile. People who claim to have seen the TR-3B describe its incredible ability to make sudden, right-angle turns and hyper-accelerate with ease, thanks in part to thrust vectoring nozzles at each corner of the triangular shape. These engines, reportedly placed on the underside, allow the aircraft to make maneuvers far beyond what conventional fighter jets can achieve. In dogfights, fighter jets need agility, and the TR-3B, if it exists, would be able to outmaneuver almost any adversary. Its speed and maneuverability would make it a game-changer, with capabilities beyond the realm of ordinary aircraft. The most extraordinary claim, however, centers on the TR-3B's supposed anti-gravity drive. The TR-3B is rumored to use a revolutionary propulsion system called the magnetic field disruptor. This technology allegedly relies on a circular accelerator ring filled with a plasma of highly pressurized mercury or other exotic materials. When energized, the spinning plasma creates a strong magnetic field, reducing the gravitational influence on the craft. This would purportedly allow the TR-3B to hover, maneuver silently, and reach incredible speeds. This could explain why the TR-3B is often only reported through visual sightings, not sound, as the anti-gravity drive would allow it to move almost silently. Plasma, a charged form of gas, could also reduce the radar signature of the aircraft further, adding to its stealth. The notion of an anti-gravity aircraft isn't entirely without precedent in military aviation. The United States has a history of exploring exotic technologies, especially during the Cold War, when secrecy and innovation were paramount. Aircraft like the SR-71 Blackbird, once one of the best-kept secrets of the Air Force, were only acknowledged years after they became operational. The SR-71, which could reach speeds above Mach 3 and altitudes over 90,000 feet, was designed with radar-absorbing materials that enabled it to evade Soviet radar, allowing it to conduct reconnaissance without being detected. With such a track record, it's plausible that the United States military could have invested in technology even more advanced, keeping it secret for decades. Beyond its potential capabilities, some suggest the TR-3B was used as a testbed for stealth technology, providing insights that could be applied to other aircraft. The stealth features in planes like the F-22 Raptor and B-2 Spirit could have evolved from experiments with the TR-3B, each aircraft contributing to America's stealth aviation arsenal. Concealing the TR-3B could allow the Air Force to refine future technologies without public scrutiny, maintaining a technological edge over other nations. Alien combat. For years, rumors and reports of extraterrestrial encounters have flooded the news, stirring curiosity and fear alike. From strange, unidentified flying objects to tales of alien abductions, sightings have been recorded worldwide, raising unsettling questions about what or who might be visiting Earth. Adding to the mystery, some sightings are reported near military installations, with witnesses describing colossal, triangular crafts defying gravity with eerie silence. Area 51 theories are widespread, but we haven't heard it speculated that the government has been hiding more than just alien debris. What if there's a larger, more sinister truth concealed in plain sight? An impending alien threat. Theories have suggested that governments worldwide, particularly the United States, have known about extraterrestrial threats but have kept them under wraps to prevent public panic. Leaked documents, alleged insider confessions, and strange events near secret military bases fuel the suspicion that our leaders may be preparing for something beyond human adversaries. But how does one prepare for a threat that surpasses human intelligence and technology? What's particularly intriguing is that the TR-3B is designed not merely as a reconnaissance tool, but as a full-on, battle-ready vehicle. Armed with weapon systems that allegedly defy conventional warfare, the TR-3B is believed to have capabilities tailored for extraterrestrial threats, potentially able to intercept alien craft and defend against hostile entities. Conspiracy theorists claim that the TR-3B is but one component of a larger extraterrestrial defense program, with units stationed at hidden bases around the globe. While it sounds like the stuff of Hollywood, some insist that we're merely getting a glimpse of what's truly going on in our skies. Is it possible that this technology was developed by reverse engineering UFOs, reverse engineering alien craft. It was an unprecedented day in Congress, where an assembly typically reserved for weighty national policies shifted focus to the extraordinary and mysterious. David Grush, a former Air Force major and officer with the National Geospatial Intelligence Agency, delivered testimony that not only shook the room, but hinted at the unimaginable. The United States government, according to Grush, has actively sought to reverse engineer UFO technology for decades. His revelations stretched the limits of plausibility, but were supported by his own experiences and those of fellow military personnel. Grush, who led the Unidentified Anomalous Phenomena Program, testified that he uncovered a clandestine operation aimed at salvaging downed extraterrestrial vessels and deciphering their technology. The idea seemed lifted straight from science fiction, a government agent claiming knowledge of a hidden program that involved retrieving alien crafts and extracting non-human biologics from them. But Grush, unwavering, told Congress he was limited in what he could publicly discuss, citing security restrictions. He described reports from insiders he trusted who had first-hand knowledge of the operations and spoke of the recovered non-human elements in these crashes, and there were darker implications as well. Grush mentioned cases of physical harm to people who were reportedly injured either by these mysterious technologies or by those aiming to cover them up. When directly asked whether someone might have been killed as part of these efforts, Grush hesitated. He admitted he needed to be cautious in his response, suggesting he had directed others with knowledge on this topic to the appropriate authorities, a cryptic answer that left the room buzzing with speculation. In a twist of tension, the Pentagon promptly denied Grush's allegations. The Department of Defense issued a statement claiming it had no evidence or verified information that suggested any past or current involvement in reverse engineering extraterrestrial technology. For the skeptics, the Pentagon's denial was simple proof that Grush's claims were unfounded. But for those willing to believe, the official response only added fuel to the fire of speculation about what secrets lay beyond the government's public stance. But Grush wasn't the only former military member testifying that day. Adding further credibility was former Navy Commander David Fravor, known for his 2004 encounter with a now infamous UFO, the Tic Tac object, 100 miles off San Diego's coast. Fravor and his crew witnessed a strange white object maneuvering with mind-bending speed over the ocean. Without wings, rotors, or exhaust, the object seemed to defy conventional aerodynamics. As Fravor's jet approached, the object moved closer in a seemingly curious but evasive gesture. Then, in an instant, it accelerated at an unearthly speed and disappeared. Just moments later, it was detected 60 miles away, far out of reach of even the most advanced United States aircraft. The encounter was recorded and later confirmed by naval intelligence, though no investigation was launched until years after the event. "It's probably the most credible UFO sighting in history," Fravor said with unshakable conviction. 4 crew members witnessed the event, and the Tic Tac's movements defied human capabilities. For us to get visual, it goes against the naysayers who say it's something on the screen. "There's 4 sets of human eyeballs on it," Fravor stated, challenging anyone to doubt what he and his team had seen. His account was a spine-tingling reminder that these phenomena are not limited to blips on radar, but have been directly observed by trained military personnel. Also sharing his experience was former F-18 pilot Ryan Graves, who had his own encounter off the coast of Virginia Beach in 2014. Graves recounted how, following an upgrade to their radar systems, his squadron began regularly detecting unidentified objects in United States airspace. These were not fleeting blips, but persistent presences, often witnessed visually and up close. In one chilling incident, a pilot reported seeing a dark gray cube encased in a transparent sphere, hovering motionless in high winds. This sighting was so disconcerting that they were forced to end their mission prematurely. Like many other encounters, it was reported, but there was no official acknowledgement. Graves underscored the implications. If these sightings are foreign drones, they pose a severe national security threat. If they are something beyond human technology, then science itself faces a profound challenge. If it is something else, it is an issue for science, Graves pointed out. In both cases, he argued that the government must take these events seriously, not only for national security, but also for the safety of air travel. His account aligned with findings from a 2021 Unidentified Aerial Phenomena Task Force report that documented multiple near misses between unidentified aerial phenomena and aircraft, a concerning trend with far-reaching implications. The mystery of these sightings has a popular explanation rooted in a natural phenomenon. Yet even this explanation carries its own curiosities. An alternate explanation, among the few hints at TR-3B Manta potential origins, is a declassified report from the UK Ministry of Defence, part of a project titled Project Condign. This report delves into unidentified aerial phenomena sightings within the UK air defence region, paying special attention to the mysterious black triangle sightings, which many have associated with the infamous TR-3B. Project Condign suggests an explanation that steers away from high-tech aircraft or extraterrestrial spacecraft, proposing instead that these triangular forms could be natural plasma phenomena. According to the report, the majority of such sightings, often described as large, fast-moving black triangles, could be attributed to atmospheric gaseous, electrically charged buoyant plasmas. This theory posits that these charged plasmas are able to move at astonishing speeds due to electrical charges within the atmosphere, allowing for the rapid and often unpredictable movements observed by witnesses. Yet, what makes these sightings even more curious is the triangular shape reported. Rather than assuming a tangible, solid craft, Project Condign suggests that a unique field forms between these charged plasma formations when in loose formation, giving the illusion of a solid triangular craft. When viewed from specific angles, the spaces between these plasma objects create an area where light fails to reflect, thus forming the appearance of a solid black triangle. This phenomenon might explain why some witnesses describe enormous black crafts, sometimes hundreds of feet in length, cutting silently through the night sky. Adding further intrigue, the report mentions that at least some sightings may be connected to meteor entries into Earth's atmosphere. The high-energy impacts of meteors could create or influence these plasma formations, adding another layer of complexity to the mystery. This natural explanation doesn't fully dismiss the possibility of advanced technology or even extraterrestrial origins, but it does present a plausible, if less sensational, reason behind many of these sightings. One of the report's more cautious recommendations is that military aircraft avoid attempting to intercept or outmaneuver these phenomena, suggesting that pilots should maintain a safe distance rather than risk a close encounter with these plasma-like formations. Project Condign implies that trying to engage with such unidentified aerial phenomenon could be risky, as their rapid movement and unpredictable behavior could result in dangerous collisions. The potential for these formations to play tricks on the mind is another intriguing aspect raised by the report. The charged plasmas, according to Project Condign, may produce vivid perceptions through magnetic, electric, or electromagnetic fields that affect observers. These fields could induce sensory effects, giving the impression of a structured craft when in fact there may be nothing tangible at all. For instance, witnesses might perceive sharp angles, defined shapes, or even lights on a supposed craft, all illusions fueled by the interaction between the plasma fields and the human brain. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more interesting ones.